Hello and welcome again from Berlin. I am at Hauptbahnhof right now. You can see the view is just spectacular. It's beautiful, right? But this is not what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about 5 things that you should immediately start doing as a beginner photographer. So these 5 steps will help you improve your photography massively and you will see a change right away, immediately, right? So let's talk about them real quickly. So the first thing that you should do as a beginner photographer is start shooting with a camera instead of an iPhone or any smartphone. Shooting with a camera will help you, level up your photography because you will get to know your basics more. You will improve your basics and also make your subjects and people around you more comfortable. No doubt, camera phones are really good. Today the smartphones are even better than some cameras, but that's the point. These phones, smartphones are so good that the processing software in these phones actually makes your photos look better because of the really nice and AI processing, right? This creates an illusion that your photography is improving. So shooting with a camera instead of an iPhone will actually give you a reality check, will also help you develop and identify the technical part of photography like ISO, aperture, shutter speed and all that, and how to play with them, how to handle them. You will get a good grasp of all the photography basics, right? The second reason of shooting with a camera instead of an iPhone is people around you get really scared when they see you taking photos with a smartphone, because when you are a photographer you don't take photos from like a tourist, like you search for angles and all that. So even if you're taking photos in public as a street photographer and if you're taking portrait shots, using a camera phone will scare your subjects. And this also goes beyond saying that don't even try to do commercial projects or commercial, paid photography with smartphones, right? That is unprofessional, right? See, I will be direct. I did not script this video. I'm speaking from my heart. These are all the things that I faced. I started shooting with my iPhone. I have an iPhone 11. I still have an iPhone 11, the same one. And I really got very bad responses in public. So I switched to a camera and I could see the difference. Now, talking about basics, right? The second thing that you should do immediately as a beginner photographer is start shooting in RAW format or RAW, right? Why is it called RAW? What's the difference? When you shoot at RAW format, camera software does not apply any processing. You get the original photo with a host of details, right? This means you can work and edit that photo much nicely, much better. Shooting JPEGs means that you are basically losing a lot of details. Why? The software in the camera applies some processing on the photo and then stores it as a JPEG. This processing means that you are losing a lot of details in the original, photo. So now that you have started shooting with a camera, the next question is, what about camera gear, right? So this is the third thing. The third thing that you should do as a beginner photographer immediately is stop wasting money. Buying a camera does not mean that you have to buy expensive cameras. When you are just starting, you are still trying to get your hands on the basics of photography, and the most important thing, you don't know what focal length you are comfortable with, and you also don't know what your subject should be. Do you like shooting landscape photos, or do you like taking portrait photos, or do you like to do street photography, or are you looking to make money in event photography? Because you are so unsure, you will definitely end up buying more than one lens. I did that mistake. Don't do it. I lost around 1,000-2,000 euros because of that. And believe me, lenses are more expensive than cameras, so you will end up spending a lot of money just on camera gear. Just buy a zoom lens, right? And buy that zoom lens second hand, right? Don't buy it new, right? And then go out and shoot as much as possible and try to see what focal length you are comfortable with. When you are editing, see what is the most common focal length you are taking photos with, right? That is the focal length you are comfortable with. Then maybe, obviously, you can go ahead and buy a better lens in that focal length. So for example, I bought my 18 to 55 mm. I shot a lot of photos. I identified that the best focal length for me is 50 mm. So that's why I have a 50 mm f2 focal length now. Lens now, right? There is absolutely no need of buying expensive gear, because expensive gear will not improve your photography, right? But as a beginner photographer, your first requirement is to get really good with the basics of photography, the technical part. So buy gear for that, and buy second-hand gear even if you're professional, right? So obviously the next part is to take photos as much as possible, but that's not the fourth one. No, taking photos is understood. That is why you are doing photography, right? I will not tell you that practice more is your fourth point. No, the fourth thing is start getting feedback on your photos in the right places. Try to get feedback which helps you. Try to get constructive feedback. You should try to get feedback from other photographers. You should join WhatsApp groups, you should join Facebook groups as much as possible. Try posting your photos there and try to get good feedback. A lot of times in those groups you will definitely get constructive feedback which helps you, right? Even from commercial photographers, experienced photographers who are doing photography for like 20 years or 30 years, right? Stop trying to get feedback on social media, especially Instagram. People will really hurt you, right? They will be really nasty but brutal in an honest way. They will never give you constructive feedback. If somebody writes a comment telling you that your photo is shit but does not give you any feedback, that is just trolling. The best feedback that I got for my product photography was from a Facebook group, right? Where these photographers were like 20-30 years of experience. They gave me really good feedback on lighting and camera basics and focal length and everything, right? So now let's talk about the last thing that you should start doing immediately as a beginner photographer, and this is picking a niche. Start trying different types of photography. You will discover your love for a particular niche of photography. Pick that niche. You are good in it. Picking a niche will help you in improving in a certain direction, right? Or else you will have the risk of burning out. So after you pick a niche, you can post more about it on social media. You can basically make your skills better and better, and then you can basically start a YouTube channel or post on Instagram and create a following, right? If you want to do that. Now that we have talked about all the 5 things that you should do as a beginner photographer, let's list them. So the first one was shooting with a camera instead of an iPhone. The second was shooting in RAW format instead of JPEG. The third was not buying expensive gear, instead buying a second-hand camera and lens and try to identify your focal length. The fourth one was getting good feedback from the right places, and the fifth one was picking a niche, right? Now there is a bonus tip that I would give you now. Start being a bit extrovert. I know it's hard, but start talking to people, especially strangers. Photographers who know how to talk to people, who know how to socialize, go a long way, right? As compared to photographers who don't interact. This is the reality. Nobody would tell you this, but this is the reality. A lot of things that you get in photography is through contacts. You get it through networking. But how would you network if you are introvert? So bit by bit, every day, try to force yourself by going to a stranger if you're doing street photography, ask if you want to take some photos. Believe me, you'll be surprised to see how many people actually want to get their photos done, right? Especially with a professional photographer, right? So try doing that, right? So I hope this was helpful to you. I really wanted to make this video because I've seen a lot of beginner photographers struggle making these mistakes. Thank you for listening to me. If you like this video, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I would really appreciate that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.